And
how much were you? So let's say roughly you're making maybe 8,000 to 10,000 a month. Back then, what were you spending versus what were you saving at that point?
It was more than half.
You were saving more than half.
Yeah, way more than half. I was living in Queens. You know what I'm saying? Like deep in Queens.
Yeah.
Like it was a neighborhood called. So I moved to a neighborhood called Forest Hills.
Okay.
And this is going to be a jewel for you guys. If you really want to come up, man, you got to get around motherfuckers with money, and not because they gonna help you, but it's gonna be changing your environment changes the way you see shit.
Boom.
You get what I'm saying? So like I had the fucking probably the worst apartment in that neighborhood, but I needed to be in a rich neighborhood. Like I think Trump grew up there or around there, and I could hear the Long Island Railroad go by. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people can ride the train, can see in my crib. Right? It was a cheap apartment, you know, 1 bedroom. It's old YouTube videos of me in that bitch, right?
I remember.
And yeah. And but it was important.
That fucking kitchen.
That proximity is important, right? Because it makes you feel like it's real. You know, like, oh shit, I can do something, you know, because when you're in the hood, like I said earlier, it feels hopeless. Yeah. Or if you're around people who are like struggling, then struggling seems normal. Struggling seems okay. Yeah. Right? You know, and they'll justify that. The dog just peed, man. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, what the fuck, man? Yo, this nigga Hero, man.
The dog was like, hey, yo, man, fuck what this nigga talking about, man.
Yo, Hero, bro. Hero, what the fuck, man?
You like working hard, nigga, clean this shit up.
Bro, Hero, what the fuck, man?
You gotta change his name to Villain.
For real. He's not Hero no more.
Bruh.
Damn, bro.
How fresh, man.
This Hero's not me.
You're right on the blind.
Now he looking at you like, fuck, what fuck you gonna do, nigga? I pissed all over your shit. I post on your shit. I pissed on your shit live. Fuck you gonna do? Nothing. Nothing, you bitch ass nigga. Say something. I heard that shit you was talking.
Yo, you know what? Yo, Hero.
He's still grilling him, man.
Yo, Hero, most hungry, bro. Most hungry right now. Messed up on your own, nigga.
Yo, he pissed on your shit and looked you in the eye and said, do something on camera in front of all these people. He don't give a fuck what you talking about, nigga.
This nigga Hero really just went, raised his leg up, and
just took a piss, man.
Now this nigga's gonna think it's okay to piss too. God damn, that's wild.
So you become like the people you're around. So now your dog gonna be pissing all over his cycle. But anyway, environment. Right, but it makes you feel.
Niggas pissing next to you, you're gonna think it's okay too.
It make you feel like it was real, you know. And across those train tracks, there was motherfucking mansions and shit, you know. And I would like ride my bicycle. Bicicleta para Mo, and I would ride my bicycle through that bitch, and just to get that environment, to get that impression in my brain like it's real. That's super important. And then it raised my ambition. You know, when you around people who are doing shit, or you in an environment where people doing shit, to raise the ambition. But if you in an environment where people fucking struggling, it's gonna make it feel like the struggle's okay. It's gonna seem more palatable. But I ain't want it to feel okay. Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? That's super important. And then I was reading. I was like, man, I can't be working like this. You know, like this. And that's when I had the idea. I was like, man, what if I started training people online? Which was a novel idea in like 2009, 2010. Nobody was doing it.
Even being on the internet and making money on the internet wasn't heard of back then, bro.
There was no fucking Instagram. There was no motherfucking
Facebook was kind of
it was called the Facebook, I think. And we had MySpace. But YouTube had started. So like I was like, all right, let me try to figure this shit out.
Yeah,
Brandon, you are an expert in helping people make money, right, regardless of the economy. Obviously, it's an election year. We're 30 days away from the election. What do you think is a play now if people really want to go ahead and get into, maybe they might have a 9-to-5, they want to make some money, etc. How can they go about just getting more money, making more money?
All right, so first of all, you got to realize that who's in the White House won't have as much effect on your life as who's in your house, like you know what I'm saying, like what you do. You know, that's what's really, I made my first million during the Obama administration. I made fucking more money during Trump's first term.
What year was it when you hit your first M?
I don't remember the exact year. It was in my early 30s though.
And Obama was in office?
Yeah, Obama was in office.
Okay. Oh wait, to 2012.
That's tough then.
Somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, hold on. No, he was in until 2016.
He was in there. Yeah,
okay.
So
he was in there for 8 years.
He was in that bitch. And and then I made even more money during Trump's administration, and I made the most money during the Biden administration, right? So it's like,
really?
Yeah,
past
man.
4 years. Okay.
It stands to reason that like you know, it doesn't play that big of a role in your life. I mean, as far as it pertains to your own income. I mean, there will be ramifications, right? You know, for sure. Like Trump hooked up the tax break for me, not for all of y'all, right? But for me, man.
Or if you're a small business owner or a real estate guy, yeah, he definitely.
Yeah, so there was that, you know, and but you know, whatever happens, you just have the attitude that, you know, no matter what, you're gonna find a way to succeed, no matter what the environment you're in. It's like really have that attitude and really believe it and go after it. That's super important, because I seen people like fucking lose their shit when Trump lost the last election.
Oh yeah,
right. I know. So I got friends I got a very diverse group of friends, right? I got friends who fucking campaign.
Yeah, you really do, bro. Now that I think about it, you got friends like, you got people like us that are pretty extreme on the right, and then you got other people that, like, you know, are swing more on the left.
Yeah, far left. You know what I'm saying? And I went to a gay wedding once, man. You know what I'm saying? Two of the homies got
You did what?
married. I went to a gay wedding, man. Yeah. In New York. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Nigga wild.
Nah, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Nah, it was one of my girl's bosses. Oh, yeah, she worked in fashion. It was back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And but I went to that shit. I mean, I definitely like looked down when they said you may kiss. I was like, I don't see that shit. Let me know when it's over. You know what I'm saying? But it don't even matter, man, because it's like, I don't have to agree with everything someone says to be their motherfucking friend, right? That's too high of a.
And you lived in New York for a very long time.
Yeah, man, it's whatever, man.
Yeah. Also, you just learn to kind of learn to just look the other way.
You know, I just don't give a fuck what another nigga's talking about or what another nigga's doing, right? Like, I don't give a fuck, man. Like what hoes say, like what you eat don't make me shit. Like I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know, as long as you ain't fucking with me and my money. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm straight. You're not fucking with my family or my money, then I don't really give a fuck. You know, like real libertarian type values for me. Like let everybody do their thing. Just don't get in my motherfucking way. You know, that's kind of how I see the world.
That's smart.
Yeah, you know, like I don't give a fuck.
I'll say this though, when it comes to making money and being in a world of corporate and access, people that you don't agree with are gonna have money, and you go to business with them regardless.
Yeah.
So, matter of fact is, they may not be, so to speak, your type of person.
Smart about it. He stays apolitical, which is actually the way to go.
100%.
As a businessman.
That's smart, bro.
Yeah, like I said, I got friends who campaigned for Bernie Sanders. I got friends. One of my boys got arrested for storming the Capitol.
Oh shit!
Yeah, this motherfucker.
You know January 6th?
There's a picture of this motherfucker. I was like, oh, like me and my boy. My boy Jeremy knew him too. Jeremy was on the show years ago, right? And he was like, "Yo, you gotta see, yo, such and such.
You know this guy?
Look at this shit." He was like, "Oh," I was like, "Oh fuck," because we both knew him, and we was like, "Oh fuck," we didn't know he was that deep into it. You know what I'm saying? So I got a diverse friend group. You know what I'm saying? And the
FBI coming.
The point is, like, he let that shit. This motherfucker was a multi-millionaire though. He used to run ads for Russell Brunson and like big time marketers. He was like
shit.
Yeah. And he let that fucking shit fuck him up. Meanwhile, I'm over here making more money. Right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My fault.
Nah, you go, bro. You still got that ringtone.
I get money.
I like it.
I get money.
My man is stuck in 2007. I love it though.
Nah, I'm old school, man.
I
I'm
will
old
say
school.
this, that ringtone is classic.
Yeah.
It's classic.
50 Cent is G.
You know, but it's like
I get money. Okay.
You can't control outside people.
Yeah.
Marcus Aurelius said you can't control outside people or outside events. You can only control your mind. And once you realize that, then you'll have full strength.
Well, actually,
or some shit like that.
I think it's important. You know, let's talk about that real quick. Like the mindset, because you know we are laughing, ha ha ha. You got a G-Unit song, you know, in 2024. I get money, you know.
Yeah.
And then, but you know, I've been to your house. I've had the the luxury of visiting your fantastic home.
Thanks,
and you have $100 bills everywhere. When I did your podcast, right? And literally everything is Benjamin Franklin here, Benjamin Franklin there, money like signs everywhere. But when I thought about it, I was like, this actually is a very interesting, I guess, psychology trick, so to speak. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, one is like I'm not classy, right? I'm not a classy motherfucker. I'm a G. I'll fuck you up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be classy, right? I'm still a fucking street nigga to the heart. But anyway, so like that's a part of that shit. But it's also, you ever notice when one of your friends gets a car and you start seeing that car everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. You're not a motherfucking X-Man. Right. You're not
like the yellow car.
Right.
Yeah.
What happens is there's a part of your brain called the RAS, the reticular activation system, and it gets activated when you see something that's important or something that's around all the time. You start seeing more of it. So the car was already there. You just didn't see it before, right? Because it wasn't activated in that part of your brain, right? But once it's activated, you start seeing it everywhere, right?
It's activated for me on a certain topic.
Yeah, for sure. No,
let's keep going though.
Right. So it's important.
Can you please mentor him some more? Please mentor him some more, please.
Just keep going.
So it's important that you really those inputs, right? Because imagine if your friend sees the car.
Yep.
If your friend sees the car, you start seeing it everywhere. What if your friend starts talking about his problems all the time? He starts complaining, starts being a bitch. What are you going to see all the time? You're going to see, right?
Yeah.
But what if you use that shit to your advantage, right? So if you start seeing, so for the money shit and, the ringtone is like, I want to think about money because I want to see different opportunities to get it the same way I see the car. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, it's bigger than that. It's more like, just the way you got to think. It's not like positive thinking. It's, for example,
intent.
It's intent, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I was with my son, and we was in Atlanta, right? We was at there's a Lego Discovery shit. He likes to fuck with that shit, and I had a nigga on my neck, and we was walking around because that's how he likes. That's his preferred method of travel, like being on my neck, right? Yeah. And so we walking around. I was like, oh shit, there's an Omega store in here. I like watches, right? So I was like, let me see what the fuck Omega talking about. And I go up in there and I see this watch that I think it's kind of cool, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, how much is that? And he was like, oh, it's like $10,000. And my son was like, $10,000 for a watch. That's too much. I don't know who taught him that bullshit, right? But I took
mom right there.
I took this nigga off my head. I was like, hey. Look here, man. Never say nothing's too much money, right? You can have anything you want if you work hard enough. You can have anything you want if you work hard. Don't ever let nobody tell you can't do nothing. Don't even tell yourself that, nigga. If you want something, you can go get it. Nah, I didn't say nigga. If you want it, you can go get it, all right? Straight up, like you can have anything you want if you work hard enough, right? Because that's some broke nigga shit, right? To say it's too much. It should be like, instead of saying something's too much money, I say, man, I need to get more money, right? Because then I'll start looking for opportunities. But if I say it's too much, it's like classic Rich Dad Poor Dad shit. Y'all had Kiyosaki on here, right? That's where I first read that shit in his book when I was like 19, but I adopted that with everything, right? So it's like I don't say shit is too much money. I say, nah, man. How can I get more money? So right there, I was like, told the Omega man. I was like, yo, Omega man, give me 2 of these watches so I can flex on this nigga right quick, man. You know what I'm saying?
Omega man.
And but you got to do that with everything, like straight up. It's like I won't say I'm tired. I say, yo, I got to get more energy. I don't say I'm hungry. I'll be like, no, I gotta go get some food, right? I'm not saying you got to keep that with everything. Oh, I can't get no girls, man. I got to find a way to get the house, right? It's whatever. You got to focus on what you want, because if you say both of them are true, it's not. I don't think of it as positive thinking. I think about it as not being negative, right? You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. In the government, we used to say find a way to say yes versus finding a way to say no.
Because both things
how
true.
can we get this done?
Also, when you look at kids, they see their parents do certain things and they say, you know what? All right, they're poor and they got to save money, so this is all I could afford when I get older as well. You're saying, you know what? Nah, fuck all that. Think in the way we can afford it once you put in the work together.
If you put in enough work, right? So he's can't be a spoiled motherfucker, right? It's like, you can have whatever you want if you work hard enough for it. And I want everybody to know that, right? That's a big message. Like, I ain't trying to sell nothing on here. Like, that's one of the messages
and
I want to get
across.
across.
Back to the ringtone. They laugh at you and they might say, well, I mean, we're making some jokes or whatever.
No, it's fun.
But the reality is like you have it in your brain, get money all the time. So even when your phone rings, it tells you I get money, and it's reaffirming that all the time. You go home, you're surrounded by all of these signs like I need to make more money.
Because you could have said, you know what, Elliot's training is too much money for me. I'm gonna just stay here and figure shit out. But you say, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna find a way to make it work, pay for the hotel, pay for the flight, and go to that training. And look where you are now.
Yeah, if you look for ways to do it, your mind will find it. Like your mind is like super powerful, and I don't mean it. I don't want to sound like one of these motherfucking white girls who collect rocks and shit, or like tell you about a horoscope, right? You know what I'm saying? I don't, but it's like on some real shit. Your brain will be able to figure shit out. It's like it's more advanced than any AI or anything, but you gotta program it right. So I say, man, no, how do I get this shit? Yeah. Right. I never talk about my problems. I always phrase it in a way where it's like, how can I get past it? You know, and I don't let people around me talk like that because bitch assness is contagious. It is. Right. Like if your friend says, starts talking, if your friend can get a car, and then you see that car everywhere, what happens when he starts talking about his problem? When he starts complaining, when he starts acting like a bitch, right? You're going to see more of that shit in your life. Bitch assness is a disease, right? It's contagious and it spreads. So like if someone of my homies or someone around me says some bitch nigga shit, I'm immediately going to be like, hey man, don't say nothing, don't say that about yourself, right? If he says, man, I can't do that, I'm like, no, don't say that about yourself, nigga. You can if you want to, you just haven't chose to. That's cool. And that's okay. Because at least that's responsibility. Right, but you can do it. You are capable, my nigga. Like I won't let nobody say nothing around me. And my students sometimes they'll be like, man, I'm trying to get more followers. I'm like, and then everybody will flip out because they know what's coming next. I'll be like, you what? Use the T word, nigga. You just say try. Nigga, did you say try? You a motherfucking try baby? You a motherfucking try baby, man. We don't use that type of profanity here, man. You must be new. We don't use the T word. You either gonna do it or you not, homie.